All right, so we're all done sanding. You can hear my air filter in the back going on because there's stuff flying everywhere, so I always wear a mask, turn the air filter on, all that kind of stuff. But, so this is what we have, the not so final product of sanding. So we basically just scratched all the finish off the top. That's gonna make it easier to paint. I am literally a disastrous mess when I make anything. When I refurbish furniture, when Dave and I build stuff, I am the messiest person. There's sawdust everywhere. Like, look at my fingers. There's primer all over them. I'm a tornado in the garage whenever I make anything. Okay, so if you are doing more than one color on a project like this, you are gonna learn that painter's tape is your best friend. So, since I want to do gray on top and the rest white, just like I did on the other end table, I'm gonna need to think it through a little bit. I can't just go painting on gray and then white and hope that I don't just happen to not touch any of these lines. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna tape everything off first. So I think what I'm gonna do is tape off all these edges and then paint this top gray. Then let that dry, because it'll take the least amount of time to dry since it's only one little rectangular area. Then I'll take all this tape off the edges, and then I'm gonna tape on top of the gray right here, and then start painting the white border. And that's just so I don't accidentally cross lines, because I'm not that good of a painter. And then after I've done that, all the white can dry at the same time. I'll tear off the tape, and then I'm left with like the least amount of drying time. That's usually how I've done it. But yeah, painter's tape, best friend for these kind of projects.
All right, check it out. So a lot of you have been asking, hey, how do I sell to my friends? How do I sell to my friends and family? So if you're a hobbyist woodworker, you're gonna get to a certain point where you've built just about everything that you wanna build. Or maybe that's why you bought your tools in the first place, is like, oh, maybe I can make a little bit of money as a side hustle. So those are some of the hardest people, at least for me. It's intimidating to sell to, right? It's my friends, my family, I wanna give them a discount. Don't give your friends and family a discount. Your friends and your family are the people that are gonna actually spend more money than what they should because they know it's coming from you. So use the opportunity of your friends and family getting their first round of furniture from you. Use that as learning how to experience sales and customer satisfaction and your return policy. Use the people that are gonna be a little bit more forgiving to you, your friends and family, as your test bed for how you are going to learn how to sell. Your salesmanship is way more important than your ability to create. Now, I'm not saying build crappy stuff and cut corners, but what I am saying is you're gonna make a lot more money if you're a good salesman and not as good of a woodworker than if you poured all your time into woodworking and you didn't learn a thing about sales.
Please excuse my crazy hair. I just got back from the gym. And as soon as I got back, the ice cream truck pulled into our subdivision. Is the same ice cream truck that comes to our subdivision every 2 days. And now the song's stuck in my head. And that's the song that I learned to memorize all the 50 states to. So now I'm repeating the 50 states 8 times in my head, and it won't stop because the truck won't leave. Anyways, update on some projects. I just got done painting the base of the farmhouse desk that we're doing. And we thought we could get away with a primer paint in one, but it actually looks pretty bad. We tried a paint roller first, and that it was not cutting it. It's very matte. which is not what we were going for. And it's very thin and see-through, so Davis is out getting some new paint now. So here it is. This is just the weird paint primer in one that we used on it. And I don't know if you can even like zoom up close enough to see, but like, yeah, that's not a super good coat of paint right there. You can see a lot of the grain of the wood underneath, which is, looks cheap. We can do better. Do you hear it? Do you hear it? I hear it. All right, so it's all done. I completed painting it, I distressed it a little bit, and then I put a coat of wax to seal it, which might sound a little bit odd, but I'm convinced that's the most ideal way to finish chalk paint projects like this. All you do is you take some paste wax. They make special brands just for chalk paint projects like this, but they're like 3 times the price of paste wax. So you take a rag, you get some of the wax on it, you wipe it over the project, and then you let it sit overnight. That's the key. It's gotta sit there and cure a little bit. And then you come back the next day with another soft rag and just buff it all out. And that's gonna seal it and give it a really nice shine so that when you put stuff on top of it, it's not just gonna scratch the chalk paint and make a huge gouge. So that's what I did. And then I put my brand new handle on it that I spray painted black. And it's all done. So now this one matches for the most part. It's kind of rustic and vintage, so it doesn't have to match perfectly. That's the look I'm going for. But it kind of matches this one that I did a couple years ago. So I actually bought this one already finished from a little thrift shop that I found downtown. And it was completely kind of like a turquoise blue, including the handles, which looked really cute. It met my needs at the time, but I decided to refinish it. This one is a little bit more in depth. I spent probably like 3 weeks on this one because I'd used some brown wax to give a little bit more depth to all the crevices. But yeah, same process, and now they match and look really, really nice. So these are also really good projects because if your friends or family are a little intimidated by what you're charging for some of your projects, because they can get a little pricey, especially depending on the wood you're using, this is a really awesome alternative. If they can go to Goodwill or some other thrift store and find something that's got good shape to it and it's the size and the style they like, I can totally take any of that, repaint it, and it looks like a brand new piece. This one that we were just showing you used to be a nasty tan. It's just like a particle board kind of a thing. It looks just like, here, I'll turn this around and show you what it looks like, what it looked like previously. So that is a matching dresser. So that's exactly what the nightstand looked like. There we go, we're back. So very mission style, kind of very late 90s, and now that looks just like your rustic farmhouse style furniture that's big right now. But yeah, chalk paint's fairly cheap if you're not looking for, the #1 brand name type, and then just buying yourself some hardware and making it match what you got. So roughly half the price, and your family and friends are still getting a really cool project. So just because somebody's on a budget doesn't mean that's an excuse for why they can't buy a product from you.
It's Davis. I just sat down to edit the video, and if you've watched this far, it would really mean a lot to us if you would just hit that subscribe button. Just try us out for a couple of weeks. If you don't like us, or you get sick of us, or you think we're stupid, then you can unsubscribe anytime, but we'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and just give us a shot. Thanks. A lot of you are wondering why the audio was so terrible in that last video, because vlog style, these little metal hooks hold the lanyard. These go on here, and they rattle around and make a bunch of noise. So, I've replaced them with paracord loops, so they won't make any noise. So, you're welcome.